All right, so just an update. What have I been doing lately with my cars? Well, with the 560 SEC, I have done the rear accumulators. I've done the rear sway bar links. I have a project going on here with the headlights. I'll update everybody soon regarding what I am experimenting with. This will definitely be, if I'm successful, a one-of-a-kind endeavor. It will be unique. It will be something that nobody, I don't think, has seen. I haven't come across it on the internet. The CL500, I haven't done anything with it other than drive it. It's been a phenomenal car. It's a showstopper wherever I take it on the road. People pull out their cameras, their phones, and start recording. It's pretty impressive. A lot of response. Anywhere I take it, I get a lot of conversation. The 560 SEC, though, I'm still considering doing a paint job on it. The gray is cool, but not really my style. I would like to have a black 560 SEC. Those tail lights, I want to do a little mod to those as well. I don't really care for them. I mean, I know that that's like the identifying mark of what this car is, but I don't know, man. I just kind of want to do something different with this car. Sometimes I think about selling it, leaving it as is. Other times I really want to go crazy with it. So it's kind of like a tough one. I don't know why. Probably because I have just too much stuff. Let's see, the CLS500. I just got finished driving this one, and those Strutmaster coilovers are trash. I don't like them. I'm not a big fan of Strutmaster because they're not adjustable, and you're stuck with what you have. If it's uneven, there's really not much you can do with it rather than, I mean, you can raise the lower one. Like in this case, the rear is too low. I could put knuckles in the spacers. Knuckles in the springs to raise it, to make it more even with the front, but I don't like how high the front is. The front looks stupid. Like, why is all that gap in the front? I don't like it. That's trash. You almost have to put a 22-inch wheel just to fill that gap. That looks stupid. I hate that. So that's a Strutmaster concoction right there. So those gotta go. Plus, every time I hit a bump, it goes like bang, bang, clank, 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 clank. Like, what is that? Like, what's clanking around in there? Garbage. So those have to go. The SL500, that's good. All I did was give it a bath the other day. I have no issues with that. Love it. The S550, it is what it is. I gave that a bath the other day. It's clean, it's shining, it looks good. It's the way it's supposed to look. And then my wife's truck, you know, I probably gotta do an oil change on that. The truck, unfortunately, I had that common GMC rust that's developing in the rear, behind the wheel on the passenger side, and the lower rocker panel at the very bottom near the step-up bar. It's starting to rust right there on both sides. So that's pissing me off. But, you know, everything else about the truck is phenomenal. So, you know, those are my projects. I guess this is my project right here. I removed a bunch of that stuff that was on there, that 3M adhesive. So it's starting to look like a Mercedes again, not like a ragged out Cadillac. All that chrome stuff is gone. Still have obviously a lot of work to do. You know, what is that garbage down there? That has to come off. It's just a lot, man. But I tell you what, this thing drives crazy. These are like rocket ships. That CLS with that 7-speed transmission is great. Even though that's the same 5.0 that's in a lot of their common 500s back in the day, from I guess early 2000s up until they started putting the 550 and everything, or the 350. The 500, you know, it's like 307 or 302 horsepower, something like that. But with that 7-speed transmission, this thing like really flies. It kicks into gear real good. A lot. It accelerates a lot faster than the 5-speed transmission. So that's impressive. But that is a cool car, man. Like, it just, the handling, the suspension just isn't right, and of course the cosmetics is trash. So I have a lot of work to do with that one. But I'm not gonna lie. If you are a owner of a CLS, I give you props, because that's a cool car. Very unique, very unique. So that's what I have going on. I'll give you some updates as to like the specifics about these headlights that I'm working on. And we'll talk shop talk later on, okay? Until then, I'll holler. So I'm taking the car for a test spin after installing the accumulators, the 2 new accumulators in the rear, as well as the sway bar links. Those plastic links were, it almost felt like they were bored out. The way they were clanking around on the sway bars, and the lower arm is ridiculous. So that quieted it down. It's no longer pinging every time I hit a bump or an imperfection in the road. The accumulators make the biggest difference. With those accumulators being replaced, the ones that I removed, they likely were the original ones, and that diaphragm, that rubber diaphragm, was totally like non-existent. It was gone, and it was just a big ball of just fluid. So it provided no compensation for resistance or easing the load on the system whenever you hit a bump. You can compare those to a strut, a gas strut with no gas in it. And so basically that's how it acted. No absorption. It served no purpose. So with those being replaced, now it's a very smooth ride. Very smooth ride. The suspension is now doing what it's supposed to do. When you hit bumps, the car counter reacts, I guess is what you would say. And the car doesn't have excessive bounce anymore. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It feels way more stable, way more stable. Might slow down here. Looks like there's some construction or something going on. So let me slow down. But yeah, it's a way different ride. I mean, this is the way it's supposed to feel. This is how this car is supposed to feel. I'm impressed. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna take off here in a little bit, but yeah, so definitely, man, if your car is real bouncy, it just, just feels like you're in a boat. You know that these cars are supposed to handle well. I mean, for this car to be as old as it is, an 89, and for this hydraulic fluid rear suspension for it to still work, it's pretty impressive. Very impressive. This self-leveling suspension is really, really nice. Now the car feels good. I mean, that thing was bouncing like I had hydraulics when I used to hit bumps, man. And of course, like I said, the banging around, just the clackety clack, the ting 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 ting. Every time I was hitting something in the road, like, it was just horrible. Like, man, this car really felt like crap in comparison to how it feels now. Now I have something to do in the front. I forgot what those things are called, but it's some kind of bushing that I have to replace now. It's in like the rear part of the lower control arms. Anytime you hit your brakes, you hear that clank clank sound. But I'll get that taken care of. I think that's a little bit more intensive than what I just did in the back. But there's a lot of information on that install, that replacement on the internet. So I'll be looking at that. But that's the next thing I have to do. But so far, so good, man. I would like to lower that front. Question, does anybody cut their springs in the front or just replace them? with the H&R springs. I think I want to keep the rear the way it sits, but I like to lower that front a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I should just lower it all the way around. I don't know. We'll see. I still have to pick, decide what wheels I'm gonna go with. Oh, I had something going on too with the headlights. I'll make another video about that, but I'll just give you a little preview real quick. Take a wild guess as to what I'm doing, but I'll explain later. I am experimenting with the headlights. We'll see. Okay, I'll talk to you later. But yeah, good job though regarding the accumulators. That definitely was an effective swap. That was a good move. Wish I would have done it sooner. It was kind of easy actually, but in comparison to a lot of other stuff that I've done. Yeah, now the suspension feels good. Now it feels good. All right, I'll make some more videos. I'll talk to you soon. I'll explain these headlights later. All right, bye.